and we'll get started now. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm a little bit late coming to you because of some issues that we had, but feeling really good about where we are now. I want to thank those of you who were able to attend Tops Talks and meet Fran Wild, who was our presenter on uh, eating healthy. Uh, it was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. And I know I got so much out of it. And this is sort of a reflection on things that Fran shared with all of us who attended the meeting. And there was a large crowd there, which was wonderful to see, and many really excellent questions. Rick did an absolutely fabulous job of fielding our questions for us so that most of the ones that we had that were so important were addressed by Fran during the time she had to share with us. And with it being a holiday weekend, it was particularly nice to see so many people come on board. I think for a lot of us, it was an important timing because this holiday, for many people, features special treats that aren't always the healthiest choices we could make. There seems to be a lot of uh, candy associated, and the Easter Bunny brings it all to us, so we all know that if the Easter Bunny brings it, it has to be okay. Behind me on the background is sort of a tongue-in-cheek representation of eating the rainbow, which is a very popular saying now, which is to choose from a variety of food groups in planning our meals every day. The one at the top I first came across, and you may recognize the little candy treats that are there. Uh, when I received a birthday card uh, from a friend of mine that featured Maxine. Maxine is one of my favorite cartoon characters, and she's a little bit irreverent about certain things. And on her background was this huge array of M&M candies, which you see, and and the caption was, "I'm celebrating my birthday by eating the rainbow." I don't think that's exactly what we have in mind when we think about eating for the health of it. But I think we've also pretty much all been there at one time or another with our hand in a bag of M&Ms. Down below is a more representative example of what we mean when we say eat the rainbow and tops, and that's choosing from a wide variety of fruits and vegetables that are available to most of us. Fortunately, we tend to live in areas where there are a good many food choices, and before long, the food choices will even be expanding as our gardens begin to produce with abundance. I don't know about you, but here in West Virginia, we're calling for snow today. Uh, so we're not quite there, but it won't be long, and things will be sprouting and shooting up, and we'll be able to reap a harvest of many, many different colors as the season progresses. And that is always a time for celebration for me. Uh, when Fran talked to us, she gave us 4 primary points on which to focus when it comes to eating a well balanced food plan. And that video is going to be made available to us before long. And I think we will benefit from reviewing it several times because there was so much rich content in it and so many interesting questions that people had that were answered very clearly and simply. One of her greatest gifts when she did the presentation was to keep everything very simple. And for me, at any rate, it made things seem so much easier to manage. It was almost as if, as she was presenting, I felt myself relaxing and not worrying about the myriad details that can go into any dietary plan. Not that planning isn't important, uh, but that it doesn't have to be rigidly so, that you can give yourself a little room for error. One of the things she suggested, and I truly find that to be my case particularly, and it was clearly illustrated when the pandemic began and we were actually asked to quarantine at home, was eating in more than eating out, because you're so much more in control of the ingredients in whatever the dish is, the choices you have, how it's prepared. You don't have to worry about extras that may be added in the food environment that you would not normally add into the food environment, or whether or not this food is processed or truly in its natural state. Um, I did not realize just how many meals out I ate in a month's time until we were quarantined at home, and I looked at my calendar and saw all these uh, out of town check marks being removed, as that was no longer part of what I did on a regular basis. Eating at home for me has always been much easier to manage and control my food plan. And I think that I feel better because I know what I'm putting into my mouth because I'm preparing it myself. And I really do like cooking. So that's an advantage as well. And then she suggested that we focus on healthy fats. And that to me became very clear when she just simply threw away one little phrase, oils from fruits and nuts. And, you hear the same thing many times by many different people in many different ways, and it doesn't always click with you. And all of a sudden, I thought, well, duh, what does that mean actually? And I began thinking of the oils I normally use in cooking, which are things like canola oil, olive oil. Uh, and as I'm going through the list of sunflower seed oil, just all, corn oil, etc., it suddenly occurred to me these are all fruits and nuts that have uh, been pressed, the seeds from which have been pressed and made into oils. They're all basically natural plant-based oils as opposed to animal fats of different kinds. Uh, so that really resonated with me very clearly. I I do that, and I tend not to use things like modified, processed, pretend animal fats like taste just like butter. I tend to just use the oil instead when that is in my frame of reference, which, wow, two things I've already got. I'm not eating out so much and using mainly fruit, seeds and nuts as the sources for my fats. And I do apologize. I think I said fruit in there, which was wrong. It's seeds and nuts from which to get most of your oils. Um, the next thing is to look at the beverages you drink and make sure that your beverages don't hold additives or empty calories. And that was pretty obvious. I know when I have looked at the uh, real life book and read the section on beverages that contain alcohol. Alcohol is considered a non-nutritive sugar. You don't get any bang for the calories in an alcoholic beverage from the alcohol. Um, so that's one area that you can eliminate. Processed sugars are another one. that find their ways into a lot of beverages some people drink. If you think of soda pop, uh, lots of processed sugar in there. Um, I know a lot of us have done the program that Tops has on our website that shows the different sugar content in various beverages that we drink on a regular basis. And that's really easy to watch. Just takes a little bit of vigilance on our part to be aware. Um, so that was a simple change I could make. And she only recommends uh, that we move in that direction uh, very slowly and very deliberately and with a relaxed attitude, that we're not going to be 100% successful all of the time in all the choices we make, but that we can be successful more times than not if we just give ourselves a little space, a little bit of grace, and some patience as we learn new ways of doing things. And those three things really made perfect sense to me. And then she made the comment that this process that we're on when it comes to weight management is much more than simply caloric content of various foods and nutritive value of various foods. And moving more, all of these things are important and valid, but that doesn't explain the whole picture. Uh, and that got me to thinking, and this is what I wanted to share with you, because this weekend was especially family weekend for us, as it is with a lot of families. And as I'm looking around the room, I'm thinking of the rainbow, and I'm thinking of those M&Ms from Maxine, and I'm thinking of the abundance of foods, fresh foods we have available to us on a regular basis. And then I got to thinking about something totally unrelated and yet exactly related. And we're all sitting around the table together, enjoying a wonderful meal. And as we usually do in my family, we have music quietly in the background as we're eating our meal. We find it helpful for conversation, helpful for the atmosphere in the room, helpful to relax with each other. And one of my very favorite songs came on, and I think it's one that you're probably quite familiar with. And it's a song that Louis Armstrong sings better than anybody I know. And the song is A Wonderful World. And you know the lyrics as well as I do. I see fields of green, and on it goes. And as I'm thinking about this beautiful, beautiful song and the colors of the rainbow about which he sings in this song, all of a sudden, what popped into my mind as my family and friends were gathered around the table with me were certain keywords. And these keywords were words like enjoy, welcome, comfort, fun, tradition, pleasure, connection, love, friendship, kindness, happiness. And all of a sudden, the food that was at that meal became totally at the bottom of what was important about the gathering. What was important were the colors of that human rainbow, the feelings it generated. And I thought, Here's one more rainbow to focus my energy and attention on. This human rainbow that surrounds us all the time. If we just take a moment to relax as we gather together as a family in whatever setting, and mealtime is often the setting in which we find ourselves gathering together. And it's not so much about grandma's banana pudding as it is about the memories we share of grandma and the memories we are making with each other as we go through this special time. So I guess today I'm asking you to celebrate with those you care about the colors of your particular rainbow and have it vibrate throughout your life and fill you full to the brim and overflowing with happiness. So go have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. I intend to try to make the very, very best I can of the gift of a new day here. Thanks so much for being with me, and thanks for your patience.